Good morning. This is Jason Dean coming live at you again from Film Fanatic headquarters. It is Friday at 10:06. So I hope everyone's doing good. The weekend is here. I got today off from work. I work part time at the Montessori School in Belfast. So today was a teacher conference day. So it's nice. I have an extra day. It's been really busy there, so it's been great. And so looking forward to just chilling out today, getting some other work here done at the house and practicing and just stick around for a while. So yeah, hope everyone's doing good. It's again, it's been a blast. I've been I got a whole stack of movies that I am still getting to and watching. These are still a bunch of movies here that are on my docket that are going to be all reviewed. And I still have a bunch of movies that or videos that I've posted, but I still haven't uploaded them. It's or actually I should say I have about 3 or 4 videos that I have done. They're uploaded. I just have to set them up. And the biggest thing for me lately, I've been knee deep in the Friday the 13th franchise. I finished that up a couple of days ago. And so I'm finishing that out. Today's going to be on another movie in the franchise. But it's funny because today I was thinking of covering this incredible movie here, Lake Mungo. This movie is just amazing, and I'm going to do another show for it. I was going to do it today. I just got this on Blu-ray, and the reason I'm not doing it is it's funny because I've seen this movie about honestly I've seen this movie like 4 times already. It's kind of crazy. Just discovered it. I discovered it about three weeks ago, almost a month ago, or close to about 3 weeks ago, close to a month ago, but maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I saw it, watched it online. I came the way I came across it. I actually did a review on this movie already. I did a show on it. It's up on the channel, the Film Fanatic channel. It's been up for a while. I did a review of this movie and about how I discovered it. And so that week I really liked it. I think it's kind of an incredible movie. And I just bought it. I got a really great copy of it on Blu-ray. And the thing was that this movie is very mysterious. Not only the movie itself is very mysterious. And I'm gonna do a review, another review on Lake Mungo. Now that I have this incredible Blu-ray edition. When I first saw it, I watched it streaming on Tubi, I think it was. And I watched it on my laptop, and the quality sucks. But I kept hearing about it, and I kept hearing the main thing that I ended up doing, or what motivated me, was because I heard that this movie was so like kind of underground and hard to find, and all these things. So I was like, screw it, and I heard some good things about it, so I watched it, and during that time, I had seen a couple of reviews of this movie, and Chris Stuckman, who's one of the biggest YouTube guys on the planet, had said he did a review of Lake Mungo and really raved about it. But he was saying on how there's like zero information about the director, the people involved in this film, and that there's like nothing. There's no like you can't find any links, nothing. And I was like, that's crazy. And at that time of that review, it was available. He had like a crappy standard like DVD copy of it, different artwork, and that was it. And so when I came across this movie and I bought it, I was amazed. Like there's hours of special features on here, so I am super excited. So I finished watching this last night, and just started to get into the special features. And then today I was really excited about talking about this movie again and also doing another show on it. But then I was like, well, I really want to dive into these special features tonight. I really want to like check this stuff out and dive into it, full bore, because I really really like this. I really love this movie, and it's got this kind of mysterious thing about it. So I have decided to wait till to do a review after I check out the special features to kind of give me a little bit more information just about this whole thing with around this movie. So stay tuned for that. There'll be another review, a second review for this movie. So today's show is yet another continuation in the series on me covering uh, all things Friday the 13th. And so I have, after today's show, I have two more reviews to do as far as reviews for movies in the Friday the 13th franchise. This is the second film that was put out by New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema bought the rights to the Friday the 13th franchise. Paramount Pictures had put out all of the other previous movies, and the last one that they put out was Jason Takes Manhattan, and I did a show on that. That's up and running. There's still like I think two or three movie reviews that I still have to put up on the channel. They're done, but I just haven't gotten to it. So it will happen. But in the meantime, I'm still cranking out the videos and whatnot. So New Line Cinema bought the rights for the Friday the 13th franchise. And what had happened was the last movie that Paramount put out with the series was Jason Takes Manhattan. And then that was kind of it. They decided to kind of like more or less call it a day. So, but New Line Cinema was kind of beside themselves, and they were like, wow, you're sitting on this, iconic franchise. So they put in an offer and bought the rights. And so they put out about four movies. They put out Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, the Freddy vs. Jason, and then they also put out. They were involved with the remake that came out. I believe so. And honestly, I wasn't like a huge fan of the New Line Cinema movies when they came out. I really wasn't. I liked them. I thought they were good. And it's funny, rewatching these movies, they've really grown on me. And the biggest one is Jason Goes to Hell. I think I kind of, well, I didn't really like that movie at all when it came out. And it was one of the later ones, and it's so radically different. But I kind of think it's my favorite movie in the franchise now. It's crazy, and it's totally bonkers crazy. Then today's show is on the movie that follows Jason Goes to Hell, and that is Jason X. Right here. This is a pretty good copy. I have a DVD copy of this movie. This is a DVD version, and then Jason Goes to Hell I have on DVD. Freddy vs. Jason I have on DVD, and the Friday the 13th reboot or reimagining, if you will, I have that on Blu-ray. The rest of the original franchise, all of the Paramount films, I have on. I have a really awesome Friday the 13th box set. These movies I really, really want to get, especially Jason Goes to Hell. I want to get on Blu-ray, but all of them, Jason X, and Jason X. I honestly did not like this movie when it first came out. It came out in 2001. I did not like this movie. I thought when I first saw it, I thought it was kind of this like weird knockoff of them trying to like capitalize on the Matrix films. The Matrix had come out in 1998. The easily one of the greatest sci-fi action movies ever made, if not the greatest. The rest of them, not so much, but the first one. And I felt like, what the hell are they doing with this movie? They're trying to like matrix up the whole like thing around Jason Voorhees, even though it's not. I just felt like they tried to, it's obviously a different thing, but it felt like they were trying to like make it all high techy and futuristic. And I'm like, just the idea, the premise of it, even before I saw Jason X, I was like, this is so just dumb, and like, why would they do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I saw it a few times when it came out, 2001. Saw it, I think, the first time on, I think I rented it, and I'm like, this movie. My first reaction was, and I love trash cinema. I'm the first one to admit. I mean, look at all of the trashy movies that I own on Blu-ray. So, at that time when I saw it, I was like, this movie is just like literally a throwaway movie. It's literally a movie that like don't even bother putting in a theater. And it was like, to me, it was like New Line Cinema just put it out on DVD, and then it was going to be thrown away like a piece of used toilet paper. And this was the second movie that New Line Cinema put out, and New Line Cinema, is a huge company. Like they, obviously with the Nightmare on Elm Street films, one of their biggest franchises, and even bigger commercially, the Lord of the Rings movies. So they've grown to this like titan in the industry. Obviously, that was all after this movie, especially when it comes to Lord of the Rings. But I thought this movie was just like a total throwaway piece of crap, and I didn't. And that was, this came out. It came out in 2001, so quite a few years went by, and then I bought the box set. I bought the Friday 13th box set probably about 2-3 years ago. And again, I've watched it so many times, the box set itself, that I can't even remember. I just love it. And so that got me into. I'm a little bit of a completionist, so at that time it made me was like, okay, I got to watch all of the movies. And at that time, I did buy somewhere. I bought Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X and a few other of those movies. I bought them on DVD in my travels, like throughout the years. And then so I was like, okay, I'm rewatching this franchise again, so I'm gonna watch Jason X in the order of when these films came out. And I found myself really enjoying this movie. I was like, wait, no, this is total schlock, but I am totally digging it. And I always forget that David Cronenberg, the master filmmaker, the master of gore, body horror, is in the movie for about 5 minutes. But I'm like, that's fantastic. And I forgot about that. So I was like, holy shit, this is great. This is fantastic. And it's grown on me. And this was like another film with Kane Hodder. This was his. It was a new beginning, and then Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X. Kane Hodder played Jason Voorhees. And I believe this was the last movie that he did in the franchise. And so fast forward years later, a few years later, I watched this again. Like how, with this whole new kind of presentation of these movies, I watched it again, and I'm like, this movie kicks ass. It's totally grown on me, and I actually really think this movie is awesome. Crazy. And that's happened a lot with these movies where Jason Goes to Hell has like grown on me so much, and it's probably and you know up into this shift, the final chapter has been my favorite movie in the entire franchise. It's still amazing, and it will always be one of my favorites, if not my favorite. But and all of the rest of the movies I've always loved. But the other movie that really climbed to the top for me, which I think is just a killer movie, is Jason Lives. I love that movie. That movie I thought was good when it came out, and I had seen it, a handful of times. Now I love that movie. Now that's one of my favorites in the entire franchise. Jason Goes to Hell, same thing. I was like, I liked it, but I couldn't really wrap my brain around it and fully embrace it because it was, I don't know, I had this preconceived notion of how the Friday 13th universe should be. And both of these movies, Jason Goes to Hell, both of those movies, Jason Goes to Hell and especially Jason X, are radical shifts in that whole kind of thing. So it kind of fucked with me. But Jason Goes to Hell, I think, is a fucking masterpiece now, and Jason X, I think, is super awesome. I love it. It's really great, and all of the things that, like I said, that I felt were, that for me were critical things about it that drove me crazy and that I didn't like kind of this came out in 2001, the whole computer, generated thing that started happening in films, in the late 90s, around the time of The Matrix, but in the late 90s, early or before 98, that's when there was this new, computer graphics and the emergence of like CGI, blue screen, all of those things started to kind of emerge. And so that technology wasn't really fully developed, but it was saving filmmakers a lot of time and energy and money, but they were able to finally, like, whatever their vision was, they were able to kind of put that on the big screen because of this new technology. But the technology at that time wasn't really developed, so it was like kind of shoddy, kind of bad. Like if you watch a movie where it really is bad and it doesn't age well, Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, like the CGI in that movie, and again that came out in the late 90s, around this time that Jason X came out. It's fucking awful. Like it's terrible. It's got, I think, and I like that movie growing up. I thought it was super entertaining. It had a Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones kind of vibe, and it's fun. But the CGI is so terrible, and I can't even watch that movie now. And the same thing with Jason X. Like the CGI for what it is kind of bad. But being that this movie is not made to be taken seriously, and it's schlocky anyway, I think it totally works. I love that this movie is super super cheesy. The CGI is, I will say, the CGI in the movie for me, because there's a lot of CGI in this movie, is is still at times pretty bad, but I actually kind of like it, or actually love it. And I think legitimately some of the CGI looks really great, whereas before I thought it all looked terrible. But even the bad aspects of the use of the CGI technology, which again was so new at this time, I think totally works for this movie. It's great. Kane Hodder's awesome in this movie. It's in the context of this movie just being really schlocky and cheesy, it totally is awesome. And the cool thing about my DVD collection, or versions of both Goes to Hell and also Jason X, there's a lot of special features on here, which is really cool. There's a whole bunch of shit on here, and also Jason Goes to Hell. But I definitely want to buy this on Blu-ray. Like this will be sweet to watch on Blu-ray because the transfer is pretty good, and the same with Goes to Hell. Transfers are pretty good, both DVD versions. But I think either of these movies will be super kick-ass on Blu-ray. So I'm gonna really try to seek these out on Blu-ray because um, I think it will look incredible. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So if I eventually track these movies down, which I will, I might be going to the shop again pretty soon. It's there's actually a bunch of movies I want to buy on Blu-ray, which I usually don't because I usually go to Bull Moose without a plan. But there's been some really good movies lately. So especially with newer horror films. So there's some movies I really really want to get on Blu-ray. Long Legs, definitely want to get that on Blu-ray. I definitely want to get In a Violent Nature on Blu-ray. Those movies are so visually stunning, and I think Goes to Hell will be fucking kick ass, and Jason X. So yeah, if I buy these movies, and I've done reviews on all those movies I just talked about already after seeing them, and all of them were seen on DVD. But when and if I buy those on Blu-ray, which I will eventually, I will definitely do another review because again, Blu-ray, it's like Lake Mundo. I was gonna do a review of it today, but I did a review on it when I first saw it. But I just really, thought it was great. But again, the whole Blu-ray experience for me is like it's literally night and day. Blu-ray 4K, and all those kinds of things. It literally is a night and day experience. It's I think seeing a movie on Blu-ray or 4K is just as good as being able to see a movie in the theater. Of course, you don't have that total immersion when you're in a big dark room with full surround sound system, a full surround sound system, the giant screen, and of course, part of that fun is being in there in this dark room with some friends that you've gone to the movies with, or a room of strangers, and people react to the movie. The last time that happened to me is when I saw The Substance, which is an amazing, amazing film. I saw that in the theater with a friend, and there was only maybe 4 or 5 other people in the theater at the time, and but people were just like, you could hear people reacting to the movie, and that doesn't happen anymore as much or at all. So that's obviously the allure, the plus of seeing a film in the theater. But I think honestly, watching a movie at home on Blu-ray, a disc, 4K, and if you have a good or a really awesome sound system with a good TV, a subwoofer, and some nice speakers, it can be just as good, if not better. I've had that experience quite a few times here at home where a lot of movies that I've seen in the theater and I buy them on Blu-ray or see them on Blu-ray, and I have a really nice sound system here at home, good man cave, I almost enjoy it more. Even though I want to have that fully immersive experience like going to the theater, there's been so many shit, there's been a shit ton of examples of where I've seen movies on Blu-ray or I bought them and it's like even more powerful. Lake Mundo was a primetime example of it. Like night and day difference as far as experience around the film. And that's why I don't stream movies, because it's like, to me, it's like blue balls. It's like you go on this hot date with somebody and things are going great and you're both connected, but then it just stops and it's like, So, but with getting, seeing it on Blu-ray, 4K, or going to see the theater, it's like you're getting your balls, you're getting your rocks off, and you're getting that, you're experiencing the full Monty, you're experiencing the whole spectrum of what the filmmakers were setting the experience, or what their intentions were. So that's why I'm gonna definitely buy this bad boy on Blu-ray because I think it will be really awesome. But again, these are great versions. This is a really great version of this film for what it is. It's a real thin case. It's kind of funny. But it's got tons of special features on there. And the special features I've watched a few times, and it's really great. The other thing that's really interesting about this movie is it's another return to form, or Sean Cunningham, who was the creator, the first director, one of the creators of this franchise, kind of came back to the franchise and got really involved with these movies. Um, but really, really fun, really awesome, and yeah, and I love that it's so radically different than the other movies. I mean, Jason in space. So thanks again, and we will see you next time. Peace.